Hey guys, in this month's Historical Fiction 101, I'm going to be sharing with you some upcoming releases. So, I did one of these books at the start of the year for January through June, so now it's time to do July through December, so let's get going. I have, 15? Yeah, I have 15 books here that I want to share with you guys. So, let's bring out my notebook here so we can get through this video as quickly as possible. The first recommendation that I have here is Silk and Song by Dana Strabenow. I hope I pronounced that correctly. This takes place in Beijing, China in 1322, and it follows Joanna Wu, who is the granddaughter of legendary trader Marco Polo. That's pretty interesting. But her lineage means little in a disintegrating court of the Khan. So in order to escape Joanna, she has to go on this dangerous journey on the Silk Road. And this book sounds really good, you guys. I definitely gotta get my hands on this one in the future. Definitely sounds something a little new and different. The next recommendation I have here is The Orphan of Florence by Jean Calogridis. And I have previously read about 2 books by Jean Calogridis, and both books I have really enjoyed, so I definitely got to get my hands on this next book by her as well. But yeah, this is set in Italy, which I think Jean Calogridis, I think that's her major specialty. I think she tends to focus a lot on the Italian Renaissance. But yeah, this book is set in Italy during the reign of the Medicis, and it's following a female who is a very successful pickpocket. And she is drawn into the world of espionage. So that sounds pretty thrilling and exciting. Next, The Woman in Shadows by Carol McGrath. And this follows the wife of Thomas Cromwell in Tudor England during the reign of King Henry VIII. So yeah, I almost imagine that this will be like something like Wolf Hall, for instance, because I haven't read Wolf Hall yet, but I know that that's about Thomas Cromwell. So I almost imagine this is going to be pretty similar to that, just focused on his wife's side of the story, I suppose. Next, I definitely got to throw in some Philippa Gregory, and this is The Last Tudor, and I believe this is supposed to be the last book in her Tudors series. And this final book in her series is going to be focusing on Lady Jane Grey, who was the very unfortunate 9-day queen. And I definitely cannot wait to get this. I love the story of Lady Jane Grey. There's not too much historical fiction out there about her, so I'm definitely going to be picking this up. I'm so sad that this series is coming to an end too, you guys. But Philippa Gregory has said that she's working on a new set of stories. Philippa Gregory has mostly written about the War of the Roses and the Tudors, so I don't know if that means she's going to be moving on to the Stuarts, perhaps. That would be pretty exciting. Next, The Wardrobe Mistress by Megan Masterson, and this follows a young woman's first time at the court of Versailles as she becomes the wardrobe mistress to Marie Antoinette as violence escalates to revolution in France. Ooh, that sounds really good. The next book that I have here is Eliza Hamilton by Susan Holloway Scott. And this follows Eliza, who was the wife of Alexander Hamilton. And yeah, because of the Hamilton musical, which you guys, I have yet to see a performance. I've not even listened to any of the music in that, but because of that musical, I noticed that a lot of American Revolution stuff has been pretty popular, especially with the historical fiction genre. So yeah, Eliza Hamilton, she's getting herself a book here. Next, Caroline, Little House Revisited by Sarah Miller. And if you can't tell by the title, this is, I guess, a retelling of Little House on the Prairie, but told through the point of view of Laura Ingalls' mother, Caroline. And yeah, the little summary here, it follows Caroline Ingalls in the 1870s as her family moves from Wisconsin to a new life in the Kansas Indian Territory. That sounds pretty good. Next, See What I Have Done by Sarah Schmidt, and this is another retelling of the Lizzie Borden story. It seems like Lizzie Borden has been fairly popular these last several years. And yeah, this seriously sounds really good. I have read another Lizzie Borden story. It was called Sweet Madness, and I was really disappointed with that book, but it was a young adult book. That might have been the problem. And I think this book is supposed to be like a you know, adult fiction, so I might probably prefer this. I'll definitely have to check this book out. Next is a book that I have actually already read, thanks to Goodreads. I got an advanced reader copy from Goodreads, and this is The Cottingley Secret by Hazel Gaynor. And this takes place in England, 1917. It follows two young cousins as they become national sensations when they claim to have photographed fairies in their garden. And you guys, this book, it doesn't even come out till August, I want to say, but I really enjoyed it. Really good. Yeah, if you're not familiar with the Cottingley fairies, I highly recommend just typing that into your Google search engine and looking at the photos, because they're very famous photos if you've not seen them already. My next recommendation, The Revolution of Marina M. by Janet Fitch. And this follows a young woman named Marina in 1916 St. Petersburg as the revolution rages all around her. And you guys know how much I love Russian history during this time period, so I'll definitely probably have to check this book out as well when it comes out. Next, The Necklace by Claire Macmillan. And this is a book that I highly suggest you go read the plot summary on Goodreads, because it's really complex and kind of lengthy. So yeah, my little summary here is not going to do the book any justice. But yeah, what I was able to boil it down to essentially is that it follows two generations of the Quincy family starting in the 1920s. And it follows a man who is back from India, and he has a necklace for his girlfriend, but in the meantime his girlfriend has married his brother. And yes, something about this necklace that it becomes a sort of inheritance, I suppose. And my understanding of the novel is that half of it takes place during the 1920s, but then half of it is also taking place in a modern day sort of setting. So yeah, this sounds really good and intriguing. Next, The Boat Runner by Devin Murphy, and this follows two Dutch brothers in 1939 who helped save Jewish refugees. And this is based on a true story, I found out, so this sounds really good as well. Next, A Boy in Winter by Rachel Seifert. I hope I pronounced her name correctly. And this takes place during the Ukraine, during World War II, as the Nazis arrive. And then I got another World War II recommendation here, and this is The Dress in the Window by Sophia Grant. And this actually takes place after World War II, and it follows these two sisters as they try to recreate American fashion. And yeah, this also has kind of a bit more of a lengthy plot summary as well, and it sounds really good, you guys. And then the last recommendation I have here is The Glamorous Dead by Suzanne Gates. This takes place in the 1940s in Hollywood. We got a murder investigation going on, I guess a young Hollywood starlet perhaps. And yeah, in the meantime, another young woman is being framed for this woman's murder. So this sounds pretty thrilling and exciting. And that's it for my recommendations for books that are being released from July to the end of this year in December. Have I left anything out? In the comments below, if you guys have any further recommendations, just let me know so I can go have a peek at them as well. So that's it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And if you like this video, you may like these other videos. Bye guys.